Hey, it's Ted McGrath. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the 9 reasons why marketing funnels don't convert. And this has made me millions and millions of dollars when we have it in. And when we don't have it in, it costs millions of dollars. So whether you're a service business, a coach, a consultant, an expert, a course creator, this applies to you if you want to scale online or if you're just launching online. So number one, first reason is this: a message to product match. So oftentimes in a funnel, if you're advertising, you have a particular message on your offer to get somebody to click on the ad, right? And what happens is if that message is not lined up with the thing that you're selling on the back end for consultants and coaches and service providers, if you're selling consulting or a service or a coaching program, if the initial front of the ad message does not match up with what you're selling on the back, then you're going to lose conversions and you're going to lose sales. Okay. So to give you an example of this, one of the best funnels that we've run prior to COVID was Book More Stages. So it was geared towards speakers or people who wanted to get booked on stages. And then people would come through my funnel, first downloading a free gift, then buying a $37 product, and then booking a call to talk to my team members. And then we would offer up something that does one-to-many stage selling or one-to-many selling, which would teach speakers how to sell across YouTube platforms, live streams, podcasts, virtual events, in-person seminars, and other people's stages. So the market, the message match in the beginning of the ad, which was talking about booking more stages, was very in line with what we were selling on the back end in terms of our high-end consulting programs. So as people are coming through the funnel and they're looking at the ad, number one. Number two, they're getting the free gift. Number three, they're buying a product like a mini course. And number four, they're getting on the phone to buy some consulting, some coaching, or a mastermind from our team. Our message match was in line with what we were selling on the back end. So it was easy to bring somebody all the way through with a congruent message and then get them on the phone and then close them. All right. So very, very, very important to do that. Now, in the creation of marketing, and you get creative and you're like, I want to do this, I want to do that. You start to create things on the front end that don't necessarily match fully on the back end. And so it's not that it can't work. It's just you lose marketing dollars when you do it that way. And it doesn't fundamentally work the way you want it to work. Okay. So that's the first thing, is make sure that the message is gonna match the offer on the back end of this. Okay. That's so important in marketing. So that's the first mistake that people make. The second mistake is not knowing what your actual customer journey is going to be and not knowing what marketing funnel you want to build. So for me, the number one marketing funnel that we've run is very simple. We offer up, we run an ad. So we run an ad on Facebook or Instagram, number one. Number two, we bring them through to something free that collects a name, an email, and a cell phone number. Number three, we offer up some type of product for like $37 or $97. And then number four, we get them to book a consultation if they want help on implementing that product more and doing it faster, which then leads to us coaching them or consulting them in higher end programs. So the second mistake that people make is they don't know the entire journey of how they're going to get attention and take that interested buyer and get them more interested all the way to where they're actually ready to then buy something of high price or high magnitude. And so people launch online and they'll go for launching to get attention. And so they'll have attention getting strategies, but they won't have then a funnel that then funnels the customer through the journey to get them to make the ultimate purchase that they want them to make. So not having a clear funnel strategy is one of the things that gets messed up all the time. All right. So what is your one funnel strategy? And when you're going to launch online, you don't need 3 or 4 different funnels. When you first start, you need one. And I know this because one actual funnel strategy, like one particular strategy, is primarily responsible for us doing nearly 50 million in sales from one strategy. Now we have a couple different funnels, but they all follow the same basic strategy that I just laid out for you. Okay. So as you start making millions, as you start reaching millions of people, then you can start getting more innovative with your marketing strategy. But one funnel out of the gates, just do one thing and know how to get attention and take the lead all the way through to a buying decision. Okay. So that's the second thing. Third, if you're running ads, a huge mistake that people make is they think they're going to make money on their $37 and $97 products. Now, when I first launched ads, like I think in 2014, I ran my first ad ever. It might have been 2013, actually. But I've been running ads for like 10 years, right? And the one thing that I've discovered is that years ago, when the costs were so much lower, I mean, you could like charge $37 for a product and then upsell them to a $97 product and pretty much get your dollar back and sometimes even be profitable off these low-end products. If you're in the coaching space today, if you're in the consulting space, if you're in the service space, it's very rare that you're going to be profitable on these low-tier products out of the gates when you're spending money on advertising. Why is this the case? Look around. When we printed a whole bunch of money in the economy of the United States of America, and this happened across countries all around the world, whether it's India or China, countries printed money. So the cost of money and the cost to buy things went way up, way up. So if you look at advertising costs, traditional advertising costs like 8-9 years ago, they were like, you could be getting in my industry like $4 leads. Now they're $12 and $14 leads. So it's tripled over time. So when you look at the cost to advertise today, it is more expensive. So you have to have a strategy of something higher end to sell on the back end. And so that's the third mistake is don't just rely on the low tier stuff. What's your back end product going to be that you sell that's going to get you profitable if you're running ads? So that's number 3. Number 4 is have something at a minimum of $5,000 to sell. All right. And this goes for coaches, consultants, experts, service business, course creators. If you're in other industries, where the model's a little bit different, great. But this is the model in my industry. And so having something at $5K to sell is something that can get you in the profitability range, meaning putting like $1 in and getting close to $3 or $4 cash back on your advertising spend. So you should be targeting out of the gates like a $4 ROI, $1 in, $4 cash back. So that's the fourth mistake is not having something high enough price to sell. Mistake number 5 is thinking that you're going to win right away, okay? It's great to have the decision and go, I'm going to launch and I'm going to win right away. And once in a while, when we do this for a client, like in 30 days, they're crushing it on sales. But the majority of the time, it never happens in 30 days, and it doesn't fully happen in 90 days, and it doesn't even fully happen in a year. So marketing is like a year time horizon at a minimum to start working out the kinks, dialing things in, optimizing things. And even after a year, you're not going to be perfect, but like the goal is to be profitable and then to scale. So year 1 is optimizing, figuring things out, and particularly if you're going to get help. I mean, I spent years and years figuring it out by myself and blew through hundreds of thousands of dollars on ads before I actually really figured it out, like burning $20,000 a month on ads before I was profitable, okay? Investing in a Facebook team, a technical team, a marketing team, and then go, okay, guys, let's start. Let's get this thing going, right? And then realizing that my team didn't know the one strategy. So I needed to know the strategy and then tell my Facebook ads guy to do this, my copywriter to do this, my tech person to do this, and then have an aligned team doing it. So you spend a fortune if you do it the wrong way, and a fortune if you don't have the right strategy, and a fortune if you don't know these 9 things that I'm telling you right now, okay? So it can be done faster if you avoid the pitfalls of these 9 things or if you do these 9 things accurately. So that 5th thing is what I just said, okay? Really important to get that nailed and to make sure that you know what you're doing with that. The 6th thing is knowing that in a marketing funnel, 50% of the success will be getting the leads in and getting having a qualification process before they ever get on a sales call. But the other 50% of the success of a marketing funnel is the ability to close. And this one is like, oh, if you don't have this, you can get leads coming on the list. You can have people booking on your calendar. But if you don't know how to bring a lead through a pre-qualification process and then get them on the phone with a salesperson who can close, your sales go to hell in a handbasket, okay? And it is the most painful thing for people who run marketing. And it's the most painful thing for you if you help people with marketing when you have somebody who doesn't know how to close. Because so you have a whole nother gateway that we just opened up, that marketing is not going to succeed fully without sales and closing. Okay. So you have to have some way to sell the client into the exact product you want them to buy through a great sales process. Now, that sales process for me, we have a sales team that takes the calls and closes the deals. Okay. So I'm not taking the sales call, my sales team is doing it. But you got to have a trained sales team and a really good sales team to do that, number one. Or number two, in your funnel, you can have an automated sales process that sells certain products or services for you. And if you want to automate your sales process, you better have the most stellar, freaking amazing presentation ever. Because selling through a presentation, you got to be good, like really good, right? If you need some additional help on this, there's links down below where if you want to get on the phone and you want some support from my marketing team to map out a funnel strategy for you, you get access to that. If you want to learn how to do presentations better, go down below and we can help you map out like one-to-many presentations that sell to many people. There's links down below in the description or there will be soon, okay? So that's a huge, huge, huge component is getting the sales process dialed in. Without the right sales or selling, you could have leads coming in, you could have qualified leads coming in, but you don't have a good salesperson to close them or a good presentation to close them. Huge, huge, huge out point. And if you're not great at sales yourself, then your funnel is going to be less profitable. And what I mean about great in sales, like you either need to be great at sales presentations or great at one-on-one sales, or you need to have a great salesperson on your team that can close for you. And that's a whole nother game. So the mistake people make is the leads coming in, the call shows up, and they get the call to book, and then they're on the phone, and they're like, and they don't know how to close. And that will just like, you can't win on a marketing funnel if you don't know how to close. You just can't. So you must develop the ability to sell really, 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 really well, or get a salesperson on your team who can sell really, 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 really well. Otherwise, a marketing funnel, particularly one where you're running cold ads, will never work for you. It just won't. Okay. So you got to get that ability and that skill in. And most people come in and think I'm going to get the lead and it's going to be great. And the person's going to come ready to buy. Not how it works. Okay. So sales process, super important in a marketing funnel, right? And again, to recap, either a salesperson closing the deal or a great presentation that closes for you. I remember in like 2014, when I wrote my one-man play, I went off to London to go write it. And when I was in London, I was like, I got to figure out how to be in two places at once. If I want to go perform my life story. And at the time I was learning how to play characters and learning how to write a script and produce a play. And so I was with my director and it was a dream to go do it. But I needed an automated selling machine to sell while I was there. So I built out a presentation that was like 75 minutes long that could clock $1,000 sales and then eventually clock $2,000 sales for me, just automated clocking sales on autopilot. And while I was in London performing a play, my automated selling system was closing deals for me. Make sense? So but to do that, your presentation has got to be phenomenal. So probably better to take sales calls first and close deals. And then the next thing is figure out how to do an automated presentation to close for you. Okay. That's I think we're on point number 6 right now. Okay. Point number 7. If you're running a funnel that goes to a booked call, getting people to show up is a whole nother game. So if you don't run that funnel properly, it is likely that you will get 70% of the people not to show up. Really? Okay. So just because somebody books a call doesn't mean they're going to show up. So there's 2 ways to slice this in a funnel. If somebody buys a product from us and then they book a call, which is the typical funnels that I run, if they buy a product and then they book a call, our show up rates are typically like 65 to 70%. All right. And, our team's working on that and we've got a good system in. But if somebody just books a call without buying something and we don't do anything to confirm them and really make sure that they're going to show up and give them personal touch, our show up rates would be 30% of the people showing up. So you really need to know that show up process, having a good show up rate is really important. And there's a whole system for doing that. And when you're running a marketing funnel, you are responsible for that. You got to make sure people show up. Whole nother component, right? So that's like the seventh thing. And this is kind of wild because the eighth thing that you need to like make sure that's in is like when you're going to go online, okay? And you're going to, for us, we run ads. We've reached like 50 million people around the globe. The majority of it's been running ads. We're starting to do things more organically now, but running ads has been our thing. $1 in, $4 cash back, okay? So when you're going to go online, the one thing you need to realize is going online is very different than traditional business. It's kind of funny because like we have traditional finance in the world, which is like, hey, get your mutual funds and get your 10% rate of return in the S&P 500. And now we have like a new world of finance, which is crypto and Bitcoin and things like that, right? And the blockchain. And so I can compare this to the traditional world of business of like, hey, let me go meet somebody and shake their hand and do business. Still effective. But the new world is online where you have machines that are running for you to make your job easier. Now, if you don't do the things that I'm saying, the machine makes your job more difficult because there's so many different components that could go wrong. Like if I do traditional finance, I'm like, hey, I meet you, shake your hand, let's set up a phone call, I follow up with you, hey, let's do a deal. Traditional. If I'm running a marketing system online, I'm putting out ads or videos that go out to thousands, in my case, millions of people. I'm casting this net and a few people are going to click on this thing, dozens, hundreds, thousands. And then they're going to come through a process. And if they come through the first step of clicking on the ad, that's one component. Then they download something free and give their email. That's a second component. Then they buy something low tier for $37. That's a third component. Then they book a call. That's a fourth component. Then you got to get them to show up. That's a fifth component. Then you got a salesperson to close them. That's a sixth component. Then you got to manage the process. That's a seventh component. So now you have all this randomness that's very different. Now the power when you get it all dialed in is explosive, right? But if you don't have it dialed in, it's a mess. So you have to change your operating basis. The way that you operate and that you fundamentally see the world in traditional business changes when you go online. 150%. Completely. Changes. So you got to change your operating basis. And if you don't change your viewpoint, then what happens is people launch online, they're going to get frustrated. It's frustrating. This thing doesn't work. This is terrible, right? Yeah, it's because you're not doing the things that I'm talking about and you're not managing the system and getting each part dialed in. It's no longer a handshake anymore and a phone call. It's literally all these different components dialed in, tweaked, tested, optimized. So you have a finely tuned oiled machine. And if any one of those components goes out, you have a machine where literally it's like a car that's driving. You got four wheels, you got the engine, you got the wheel, right? You got the brakes. Like imagine if the gas pedal just goes out. Imagine if you lose a wheel, right? And a car is going, 100 miles per hour and you lose a wheel. Like what happens? You crash. What happens if like the gas pedal doesn't work? You're going 100 miles per hour and all of a sudden the gas stops working and you go down to zero. And so that is online marketing. Speed, and the moment you lose a wheel, bottom comes out. So with it, the reward is power. Without it, the reward is slow. It's turtle speed. Okay? So that's the recap of what I'm talking about here today is you got to change your viewpoint, change the way you're operating to do this. Because if you're going to go online, it's a totally different viewpoint. And it only leads to frustration when somebody doesn't know the rules of the game. One who knows the rules of the game and knows why something's not working or why it is working wins the game. Person who doesn't know the rule of the game goes into confusion, goes into frustration, boom, spins, and then quits. And that's what there is to it. And so any way you slice this, doesn't matter. You want to do, like, if you're doing social posting, if you're doing organic videos, any way you slice this, you can go out and get attention. But if you don't have then a sales funnel that then takes that attention with the message you're giving and then leads them through the entire process like a well-oiled machine to the close, then you will never have an online business. And that's just the reality of it. And so attention is just the entry point. There's 8 or 9 points that I just gave you after the attention point that then becomes the real game. And once you have that dialed in, man, you're clocking, right? Where you can go away and you can be like off in another country and the leads still come in and the sales still come in. Or like recently, I had to tend to a family member where I was out for like a month, and literally the leads still come in and the bookings still come in. And unbelievably, while I was gone and it was partly there working, the stats were actually going up, which was amazing. So these systems are extremely important to what you're doing. And it's almost like you're building a house and an infrastructure. It's like a virtual house. And that's what you're doing. So I hope this serves you. And I hope you enjoy this. Again, there will be links below this video where you can go book a call with one of our team members to get some additional help. If you want to learn how to build out a marketing system, if you want to learn how to do one-to-many presentations so that you can scale through webinars or stages or podcasts or your YouTube channel, and you can get attention to start scaling through presentations, then we will, the link will either be here soon for those of you who are watching this recorded. Those of you watching it live, it'll be here soon. Okay. Hope this serves you, and I'll see you on the other side. It is a fun game, marketing, but it is a game that requires some serious professionalism and expertise to win at it. Hope this serves you. See you soon.